At the half in Cleveland, Toronto has the lead, and more importantly, Toronto has the rhythm. As we welcome you to the Hardwood Report at the half, I'm Ryder Bullock. The Raptors are up 74-67, shooting a blistering 64% from the floor and 10 of 17 from three. That's not just efficiency, that's command. 21 assists on 29 made baskets tells you the ball is moving, the floor is spaced, and Cleveland's defense is reacting instead of dictating. The Cavaliers are very much alive because they've made 11 threes and have done their work at the line, 14 of 16, but the difference so far is pace and pressure. Toronto has 17 fast break points to Cleveland's 2, and the Raptors have turned Cavalier mistakes into 23 points. That is the number that jumps off the page. Take a look at our top performers. Sam Barnes. I'm sorry, not Sam Barnes. Scotty Barnes. Call him anything but late for dinner, right? Anyway, he's leading all scorers with 14 points, 8 assists. James Harden has 19 for Cleveland. Meanwhile, in Detroit, the Pistons lead Orlando 76-69 midway through the third. Cade Cunningham has been the story there with 30 points, while Paolo Banchero is keeping the Magic within reach with 25. Detroit has an 87% win probability at the timeout, but with Banchero on the floor and Orlando still hanging around, this one is not done yet. Later tonight, the Los Angeles Lakers will take the floor with a chance to close out their series against the Houston Rockets, a Game 5 that carries the familiar tension of opportunity versus resistance. The Lakers can advance. The Rockets, as they showed in Game 4, are more than capable of pushing this thing further. And at the center of that moment, as he has been for more than 2 decades now, is LeBron James. But what makes this particular moment in his career so compelling isn't just what he's doing on the floor, it's what he's been saying off of it. In a series of recent wide-ranging interviews, LeBron didn't so much argue his place in history as he reframed the conversation entirely. He called the debate, the one that has followed him for most of his adult life, what it has always been at its core: barbershop talk. Not dismissive, not defensive, just honest. And yet he doesn't avoid it either. He speaks about Michael Jordan with a kind of clarity that feels less like comparison and more like acknowledgement of the mid-range brilliance, the post-game, the relentless will that defined an era. He admits what so many already know, that he studied it, learned from it, was inspired by it. But then he does something subtle and important. He shifts the lens. He says, I think I am one of one. And that may be the most revealing answer of all. Because it isn't a claim of supremacy. It's a rejection of shamelessness. Jordan chased the moment. LeBron has often shaped it. One looked for the shot. The other just as often found something better, and for years that difference became the basis of criticism. The finals records, the comparisons, the idea that longevity somehow needed an asterisk. That 8 straight trips to the finals could be reframed as something less than extraordinary. LeBron admits now, earlier in his career, that noise got to him. Now it doesn't. Not because the conversation is quieted, but because his perspective has changed. He understands that contradiction, that some would rather you fall short early than fall short on the biggest stage. That sustained excellence over time can be taken for granted simply because it becomes expected. And so what once felt like pressure now feels like context. There's another layer to his answer, too. One that feels almost more telling than anything about Jordan or legacy. He talks about the end, not dramatically, not nostalgically, just matter-of-factly. About time Time with his family, time for himself, time reclaimed after giving so much of it to the game. And when you hear that, you realize something. He's no longer trying to define his career. He's beginning to understand it. Which brings us back to tonight. Because when the Los Angeles Lakers take the floor later, it won't just be about closing out a series. It will be about another moment. One more chapter in a career that doesn't need a final argument. Only appreciation. The Houston Rockets will bring energy, pressure, and the urgency of a team not ready for its season to end. And the Lakers will be bringing experience and something else. Perspective. And maybe that's where this whole conversation about greatness, about legacy finally lands. Not in a verdict, but in recognition that Michael Jordan was singular and that LeBron James, in his own way, is too. Game 5 of the Rockets and the Lakers tips off 10 p.m. Eastern. Lakers lead the series 3-1. Pistons lead the Magic 84-76. Cade Cunningham has 31 points, trying to save the Pistons' season. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, Harden doesn't feel good because Scotty Barnes, has the rhythm. 14 points, 8 assists. Raptors trying to take a 3-2 lead. We'll find out what happens third quarter in Cleveland after